Welcome back to the Manifest You podcast. I am Shannon, and this is where we talk all about vision boards and mindset and the psychology behind actually getting the things that you want. And today, I want to talk about one question, and I promise it's not the question that you have been asking, because most people walk away from their vision boards feeling really freaking good and inspired and excited. They just know that life is about to change for the better. But then nothing changes, because I really want you to think about that. Not in a week, not in a month. You probably made your vision board around New Year's. It's now April. And you may have given up on it and thought, you know what? By the time New Year's rolls around again, I'll just cut some more pictures and glue them down, and I'll just tell myself it's going to be different this time. And you put it off. But year after year, it's not different, because you're still asking the wrong question. You see, when most people sit down to make a vision board, the question driving the whole thing is, what do I want? And that feels like the right question. It feels intentional, like you're being honest with yourself and you're being clear about your desires. And within the Manifest You method, we talk about being clear about our desires and being honest about what we want. But wanting something and being able to receive something are two completely different things. Your brain doesn't move towards what you want. It moves towards what you believe. And when I say what you believe, I'm talking about what you believe based on what you have been told, everything that you've experienced, and the stories that are quietly running in the background of who you are and what you deserve. So when you paste the photo of the beach house on your board and you stare at it every morning, but somewhere underneath that, you think that that life is for other people, your brain's not manifesting that beach house. It's confirming the gap between you and the beach house. And that is not a vision board. That is a fantasy collage. It is a craft project. And I say that with so much love because I've made plenty of them myself. But here's what nobody's saying. Here's what nobody really gets into. And that's the image is not the work. It's the starting point. Most people go about teaching vision boards or holding vision board workshops saying, find what you want, paste it down, and watch your life change. And so you've been misled to thinking that is the work. The work is different than just pasting a picture. It's understanding why did that image call to you and then getting really honest about whether you actually believe you can have it. Because the disconnect is the image and your identity, what you're looking at and what you believe yourself to be. Your vision board becomes something that you feel guilty about instead of inspired by because you constantly look at what you don't have. Since the question originally framed was, what do you want? And so then it's a reminder of what you want, but what you don't have. And most people never bridge that gap. I'm just going to be honest. Most people make a vision board every single New Year's and they never bridge the gap between actually getting it. Sometimes people actually divert into then putting goals they know they can accomplish on their vision board instead of their true vision, because at least it can come true if I put something on there that I know I can make happen. And that's really just doing what you could have done anyway. You didn't need the vision board for that in the first place. So if the question isn't, what do I want? What is the question you should be asking every single time that you're engaging with your vision board? That question is, what do I need to believe to experience this in my life? Sit with that for a second. What do I need to believe to experience this in my life? Not how do I get this? Not when will it happen? Not do I deserve this? Because those questions already have loaded answers for most of us. The simple question is, what do I need to believe? Because that question does something different. It takes you from the surface, from the picture, from the wanting and not having, and it drops you into the actual mechanism. It shows you the gap, the belief gap. And that's where everything lives. That's where manifestation happens. You manifest, you experience what you believe. If you look at a photo of a thriving business and your honest answer is, I need to believe I'm someone who can figure things out even when it's hard, then you can work with that. If you look at it and you say, people want to buy my product, you can work with that belief. You can build evidence for that. That's something you can embody. But if you skip the question, then you skip the work. And all you have is a pretty board that's slowly stopping your inspiration and starting to make you feel kind of shitty because you're looking at it and saying, wow, I still lack these things. I pasted that down 4 months ago and I still don't have not a single thing. When is this going to come? How long is this going to take? And that's there because you don't actually believe it yet. You see, this question is uncomfortable, and it's why most people never ask it. Because when you ask, what do I need to believe? You have to confront the fact that maybe right now you don't believe it. And that can sometimes make you feel like a failure. It can make you think you're not ready, or that you're a fraud, or you're not deserving, or that you're broken and you need to go through some healing error crap. That this stuff just doesn't work for you. But that's not what it means at all. What it means is that you're being real with yourself, and you're being real with yourself by having a starting point. You're taking what is a wall and creating a door because you're acknowledging it. Yes, it absolutely is easier to cut pictures and glue things down and just call it done. The craft part of vision boarding, and that's generally fun. I get it. I love to craft. That is one of my jams. I put rhinestones and everything on my vision diary. But you deserve more than decoration. You see, I don't stop at the decorating part. And that's exactly why I built the Vision Board Reset workshop that's coming up on May 16th. We're getting together on Zoom because we're not going to be talking about making our vision boards prettier. And we're not going to go over how you have the wrong images. We're going to go over how to ask the right questions so that when we make it, it can become our life. We're going to go over closing the gap, and that's what the Vision Board Reset workshop is about. It's closing the gap between the image and the identity, between what you're looking at and what you actually believe. So like I said, we're meeting on Zoom on May 16th. There is an early bird special. If you grab your spot before April 21st, you're going to get in for $37. The link is in the show notes, or you can go to manifestshe.com/vision workshop to secure your spot because spots are limited, and come ready to do the thing. We're not just decorating. We're going to close that gap once and for all so you can start having the things that you want without just hoping, wishing, and feeling really bad that you don't have them. So I want you to remember this week, and I want you to write it down somewhere, the one question. Put it on a sticky note. Put it in the notes app of your phone. What do I need to believe to experience this in my life? And that question is the difference between a vision board that collects dust and one that actually changes how you see yourself. And when you change how you see yourself, everything is going to start moving. I'll chat with you next week. If you loved today's episode, be sure to subscribe, rate, and share it with your fellow warriors. Let's create a ripple effect of liberation. Until next time, stay fierce, stay fabulous, and as always, live life unapologetically.